Hi, I'm Timmy from MondoCon, and here's next to me EyeofSauron Designs from Austria. He's a cosplayer who's attending at our MondoCon as a cosplay judge and a visitor as well, and he will hold a session tomorrow about budget cosplay. So now I will be asking some questions from him, and I hope you will like this video, so stay tuned. So, EyeofSauron Designs, nice to meet you and welcome at MondoCon. This is your first time at Hungary?
It's not my first time in Hungary, but at a Hungarian con, yes.
And how do you like it so far?
There's so many people. I didn't expect it to be this big, and there's a lot of different costumes, everything. I thought the weather was going to be worse. It actually turned out pretty nice today, so yeah. So far, so good.
And you were a judge at our cosplay competition. How did you like our cosplayers?
There were lots of different things, actually. There were lots of different skill sets. I've seen new stuff that I haven't seen before. Like, for example, people using linoleum for their costumes. I've never seen anyone do that. Overall, it's pretty good. I think we're gonna reach a good verdict overall, and I hope everyone's gonna be happy with the result.
And what kind of advice would you share with our Hungarian cosplayers?
Somebody asked me in advance because they're so nervous to come here to be in front of a judge. But in reality, there's nothing to be nervous about, because the worst thing that can happen is that you don't win. And the best thing is that you win. So if you don't win, you still had a lot of fun, got to show off your costume, and nothing is lost. So pretty much just do it.
And you are now cosplaying All Might from Boku no Hero Academia.
Yeah.
This is a really famous, popular show here at Hungary.
Is it? Okay.
Yes, so that's why many people want to take pictures with you. Why did you choose this character?
Actually, it wasn't like somebody told me to do it, and I was like, no, I don't know the character. I have to. And then they told me, read the manga, look at it, and then I read like two or three episodes of the manga, and then I was hooked. So I read all of it in one sitting for the first 50, I think it was, or 40, something like that. And then I decided this is kind of my character. Like, I like him. So at first I didn't know him, but this is more or less something I do. He's a big pompous guy. So I do Gaston, for example. It's pretty much the same except for the good guy. So,
and I saw that usually you do these big full body cosplays. How many times does it take for you to make such a big cosplay?
Actually, I just learned a new technique for the muscle suit. So the last muscle suit I made was a smaller one I used for my next costume, for my Batman costume. And it only took me about a day and a half for the muscle suit itself.
Wow.
This one took forever because I didn't know what I was doing. And so it took me about a month, I think.
That's cool. And what are your future cosplay plans?
I'm planning on doing Batman. That's my main big cosplay, the Arkham Knight Batman. And there's also a couple of smaller costumes. I intend to do Sportacus, just without muscle suit. I intend to do Tarek from League of Legends, the very outrageous version. And Prince Adam from He-Man. So not He-Man himself, but the normal version of He-Man. And I have lots of plans that I don't actually do. I just think this would be a cool costume, and eventually sometimes I want to do it. So yeah.
That's cool. And oh my God, I forgot the question. I wanted to ask you.
Don't be nervous.
I'm trying. Okay. You will have a session tomorrow about budget cosplay. Can you tell me about a little bit? What this will be about,
so,
just in short.
There's going to be a lot of different material things in there. So what materials I use, because I myself, while by now after 6 years of cosplay, I tend to get more expensive materials, but I really like using cheap materials, because I just started a new job. Before it, I had no money. I had to work cheap, and I didn't know where to get money from, so I had to research and use materials that some people might not use, or might not use to that extent that I used them. For example, I see lots of people cover their foam with paper mache. I don't like that, but that's another thing. But you can use paper mache to so many things. For example, I used my mold master for my Batman mask, which is going to be cast in urethane. I used paper mache on top of that, and then sanded it smooth, and then sealed it, and had a perfectly fine Batman mask that I'm going to mold and cast. So there's lots of things in there, like, for example, what kind of foam I use, where to get stuff, especially online. I don't know all the Hungarian stores, but just just sources in general where you can ask if they have it, because some people might not think about asking, for example, a local upholstery store if they have foam cut-offs. Something like that.
I see. That's cool. And my last question is I think that's all. Have you tried any Hungarian food so far?
No, I haven't that time. We got stuck in traffic yesterday. We arrived at 8:15 yesterday.
Oh my God.
And then I had to unpack everything. And then at 9:30, I noticed that I'm missing this part here.
I see.
Because I have this like with hair and everything, but it's lying at home. So yeah. So I had at 9:30, I had to find a store that was still open, that has the material. And then I had to buy it. I bought it at Tesco, I think. Then went home and built this in like 2 hours.
Oh my God!
And just the front part. And it's not perfect, but it's what it is right now, and it's the best I could do in 2 hours.
And one last question. I noticed that fewer boys are into cosplay or get to know about. So fewer boys get popular among cosplayers. Why do you think is that, or how we can cope with that? Because I would love to see more boys doing cosplays.
As stupid as it sounds, the demographic for people that look at cosplay is mostly young guys, and they like to look at girls. Nobody likes to look at me. There's less girls that look at the cosplay, but there's lots of girls who do the cosplay, but they don't look at other cosplayers' pages or how they work. Maybe just for information, but not really like follow them. And the other way around, it's prettier to look at, I guess. And there's also just the sheer amount of females they have. You can find all your techniques there, and this is basically just a smaller demographic, I think. But the few guys that get popular are either super ripped or super skilled or both.
I saw that you work out very usually, so I think you will be really a heartbreaker. I have to say, girls would go crazy for you. So
I'm too old for everybody. So.
I think you will be really famous. So I wish you the best.
Thank you.
And thank you for the interview.
Thank you. It was really nice.
So bye guys,
bye.
and see you next time.